Hello, and thanks for tuning in to our Tuesday online exclusive. I'm Paloma Camacho.
And I'm Hannah Garcia. Cleanup from Hurricane Michael, which hit Elon as a tropical storm, may be finished, but some students still want answers. The station at Mill Point lost power for about 50 hours. For residents living in the station at Mill Point who decide to stay on campus over fall break, the few days of hopeful relaxation turned into inconvenience and frustration. Our Rachel Ellis has a story.
For station at Mill Point resident Ryan Healy, flying home to Connecticut for what she said felt like a long weekend did not seem worth the travel. According to Vice President for Student Life, John Dooley, the station at Mill Point neighborhood was the only on-campus housing to lose power during the storm. Healy and her roommate were taking a nap on Thursday afternoon when they woke up to the sound of whipping winds and power surges. It was in that moment when they decided to take matters into their own hands.
We filled up the pots and things like that with water just in case, and then the power went out.
After the lights went out in Mill Point around 5 p.m. that evening, Dooley and Elon's alert system warned students of nearby thunderstorms, encouraging anyone on campus to seek shelter.
You could see trees really kind of moving, so we were a little worried about that.
She says there should have been more communication with students on campus before the power went out.
I think a little bit more preparation. I went to the grocery store on Wednesday and bought a full fridge of stuff because I didn't really know that it was going to hit us that bad.
While Florence formed on August 31st, it did not make landfall until September 14th, leaving the university with plenty of time to prepare for the storm's arrival. Michael was moving much faster, forming on October 7th and making landfall on October 10th. Still, residents of the Mill Point neighborhood thought more direct storm updates would have been helpful.
They were sending the same emails to us that they were sending to the general student population, which I feel like was a little bit odd.
Now with power up and running, Healy is catching up on kitchen chores and a few episodes of The Office. Rachel Ellis, Elon Local News.
While Dooley canceled our interview with him, he said in a statement to Elon News Network, quote, "The nature and timing of the storms were quite different. One predicted to make landfall in the state of North Carolina and directly pass over Elon's campus at a time when classes were in session, with the other predicted to make landfall in Florida and weaken to a tropical storm by the time it reached North Carolina, at a time while we were on fall break. The lesson learned for students is that no one storm will be just like the next," end quote. For the full story, check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. We are days away from the first presidential inauguration since 1999. President Connie Book's inauguration is this Thursday, and preparations are underway. Around campus, special inauguration flags replace the usual Elon flags.
Celebrations will continue into Saturday evening with a student inaugural ball taking place in Global Commons at 8 p.m. President Book says he's excited for the inauguration to bring the Elon community together.
That's part of the thing I'll be celebrating at the inauguration is this sense of ownership that the community has about the university.
The ceremony starts at 3 p.m. in Schar Center, but our coverage will begin at 10 a.m. We will have a pre-inauguration stories, including a look at past inaugurations and President Book's future plans. Be sure to tune in to our special live broadcast leading up to the inauguration at 2:45 and continuing coverage during our ceremony.
For Alamance County students who live in under-resourced communities, access to music programs are hard to come by. The Young Musicians of Alamance provide these students with more than just an instrument. Diego Pineda has more on the music making a difference.
1, 2.
For 6 hours every week, the Young Musicians of Alamance, also known as YMA, gather for musical instruction, singing lessons, and bonding activities. The program, started in 2015 by founder and executive director Beth Bader, is based on El Sistema, a music education program in Venezuela aimed to help kids from impoverished communities.
There is in this country, among a lot of important people and foundations and so on, the realization that kids in poverty need so much, and they deserve to have so much.
With the help of musicians and teachers known as teaching artists, YMA helps underprivileged children to grow in their musical talents, social values, and academic skills. Bass player Emmanuel Castillo has only been in YMA for a year. He says the music lessons can serve as an escape from his everyday life.
Like if I was having a rough time, I can always go into the bass and start playing and forget about the things.
What began as a program for 8 first graders has now grown to provide lessons to 30 students. Through fundraisers and donations, YMA has created a community for the kids and their families.
They belong to something important to them. And the belonging, it seems to me, also, and they see this in the research, that it changes their lives.
Bader hopes that as YMA continues to provide a change in the Alamance community through music, the number of its members and ways of recruiting and funding continue to grow.
And it gives them opportunities, it gives them resilience, it gives them many things that they would just not have the opportunity to do if they didn't have this program.
Diego Pineda, Elon Local News.
For more on this story, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. Hannah, those kids were so cute.
I agree, and it's so great that they get the opportunity to be in such a program where they can not only learn music but educate themselves on the history of music.
It's awesome. Emmanuel looked really satisfied with the progress that he's made in the year. That's all the news we have for you today. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
And stay up to date with what's happening around Elon at our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Have a great week, Elon.